The other state that passed legislatively was Kentucky, and that was done through Senate Bill 47 on March 1st of this year. The law will not take effect until January 1st of 2025, and the Cabinet of Health and Family Services is the oversight committee that will draw up the regulatory framework. I put the qualifying conditions up here because this is a medical only program, and it's really important that you pay attention to the second one, which is pain. Chronic, severe pain, debilitating pain. This is really an important condition to have on the list besides cancer, epilepsy, and the other things that they have, because pain really opens up your market to more patients to walk through your door to buy your product. So it's really important that that you understand that pain is on there. I also put a small note on there that the Kentucky Center for Cannabis can also find any other appropriate condition to add. And in a lot of cases, I have seen in other states before the program even gets rolled out and the first, dispensary is opened, more qualifying conditions have already been added to this list. So it's important to know that in the bill, they've already given the right for them to do that. Also, two reciprocities. So visiting patients from other states can purchase up to a 10-day supply. That's important to understand. So you can have patients from out of state come in and buy their medical stuff in Kentucky. The license types that will be available in Kentucky, according to Senate Bill 47, dispensary, processing or manufacturing, producers. Producers is someone who can cultivate and manufacture or produce, cannabis products. They call it a safety compliance facility. It's really most known in the industry as testing labs. And then you can be a cultivator, and there's 5 tiers of cultivation. The smallest tier being 2,500 square feet of canopy max, all the way up to 50,000 square feet of canopy max. Here again, it looks like the state wants to control that supply and demand, and it's really important that they understand how much product is being developed in any one given year and what the market is demanding. Do note, and I put this note in here because it was stated right in Senate Bill 47, that regulators can increase these amounts if additional cultivation or product is needed in the industry. I will go back and talk a little bit about Ohio. Ohio had 2 levels, a level 1 and a level 2. They, when they increased the number of dispensaries 2 years ago, and they're still giving out those dispensary licenses in Ohio with 75 new dispensaries, they did not go back and give out more licenses in Ohio to cultivate. What they did is they went back to their level 1 and level 2 cultivators and increased the square footage of canopy that they can produce. So that is how those new 75 dispensary store shelves were stocked, was through increasing the product available through the existing medical cannabis operators. So really important to understand, now's the time, if you're going to get your cultivation license, that to get it, because with that clause where they can increase it, it may be a while as the market increases the demand, they just may increase the square footage that you're allowed to grow under these 5 tiers. There's no numerical limit on the number of licenses of any of the businesses, but it's also important to understand that they're capping cultivation. I mean, if you read between the lines, they're trying to keep the supply and demand equal. So just know that when that door opens to get your license, walk in and go get it, because it can close. And we're going to talk about states where it was unlimited and those doors are now closed. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Application details. This is really important to understand because this is going to be a very detailed application. You're going to have your legal business name, so your DBA, in place. You're going to have a physical location identified in your application. You're going to have to know your organizational structure. When you submit your application, they have to notify you within 15 days that they have received it, and within 45 days whether they've approved or denied you. If they deny you, they're going to allow you an administrative hearing. And some of the items that they can deny you for is inefficiencies in missing information. The applicant's plans do not satisfy the security oversight or record keeping administrative regulations by the state, or non-compliant background check. It's really important to understand that second check mark there about the satisfactory of security oversight or record keeping. it gets into great detail on whether they can deny or accept you for an award of a license, because in there they talk about they are looking for, and they've written into standards for employee and training, record keeping, inventory, security, including lighting, video, alarms, parking, transportations and delivery, packaging and labeling. If you start reading through this checklist, this is probably going to be the detail of the application. And you can see where this business plan gets really expanded into all of these areas. You have to be 1,000 feet from a school, a daycare, a church, a park. Here again, it could be a library. If it houses children, stay as far away from it as possible. Regulations have to be developed by July 1st of next year and include all the details of these items that I just talked about, which will more than likely be in the application. Also note for local government, they may opt out of cannabis businesses, but it has to be done through a citizen's petition to opt back in. So be sure to check with your local commissioner on whether they're going to allow facilities in that area before you go out and start buying property. Also, too, local government can regulate time, place, and manner of that business. So really important to check with local commissioners, city commissioners before you go and purchase property.
If you have been watching this and would like support from Sherry directly, you can reach out at the email on the screen right now, sherry@mjfreeway.com, or at either of the phone numbers listed.